Hello. Guys. Hello. Just wait for people to join. Ja. I think um, I'm gonna go ahead since you guys can. Wait, I'm gonna go ahead since you guys can replay this at your own time. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna start now. So yeah. Wait, I'm so sorry for the noise. My dogs are playing in the background and they're already bugging me because they are hungry. So I wanted to talk about virtual assistants, and this is specifically for newbies. So again, thank you for coming in and then joining our live. Um, and your interest in knowing more about the freelancing, in the realm of freelancing or working online. So I'd like to remind you that this is for newbies or noobs or beginners. So this is for people who have close to zero knowledge on virtual assistants. Um, 1 second. Close to zero or um they want to be one. They have heard about it, pero yeah, they have completely um close to nothing know-how on it and becoming one. Yoga. Okay, so I'd like to introduce myself first. I'm Alex. I'm a virtual assistant. I mostly focus on content creation and marketing for my clients. And then I used to teach um, English as well because I've been working online for 10 years. And then for the first half of it, I taught English to speakers of other languages like Japanese, Taiwanese, Vietnamese. Um, I did that for 5 years, and then after a while, it became too repetitive and parang na-stagnant na yung mind ko. That's why I needed a change in career or at least focus of it. But even before that, I already uh in college, I already tried to work online. I did homework for people abroad, like for high school kids who were too lazy to do their homework, and so they paid uh, to do it for them, and I was one of them. Um, Apart from that, I also wrote articles for some food, lifestyle, and wellness channels or websites. So I already had that background on a part of the freelancing realm nga. But I guess I wanted to do more than that. I didn't just want to specialize on one thing, but to dabble on other things as well. And that's exactly what a VA is. It's mostly it's the saying jack of all trades, master of none, but better than one. So that's why I have expertise in or experience rather in social media administration, graphic design, um, HR. Uh, what else did I do? I did a little bit of photography. I did a little bit of research, um, uh, customer service, telemarketing, inbound, outbound calls. Um, I dabbled on a lot of stuff in the last 10 to 12 years. Um, but on my own time, my passion is to be a mother to my two dogs. And then also my heart lies on animal welfare, advocacy, and mental health as well. Um, so that there's that about me. Let's continue. What is a virtual assistant? So, I'll just make it. I don't know if I can make it bigger, but there. Okay. So, what is a virtual assistant? A virtual assistant is a self-employed worker who specializes in offering admin services to clients from a remote location, usually a home office. So someone who is self-employed, we call ourselves independent contractors, so freelancers. We are self-employed. If you're going to apply sa BIR, we put it there as freelancers, that's self-employed. And then we work from a remote location, meaning we don't have to work at an office. We could, if we wanted to, we can rent to one or go to one. But basically, you can work anywhere. That's the beauty of coming or being a freelancer. So as an overview, this exciting field offers numerous opportunities already for people, um, especially Filipinos, to work remotely and provide services to businesses and entrepreneurs all over the globe. So there has been a remarkable growth in this industry in the recent years. Thank you to the advancement in the technology, right? Um, Global businesses, business owners, employers, they recognize the value of hiring VAs. VAs handle the admin tasks, um, but not just admin. They not just admin, they also do specialized tasks like graphic design and social media management. That's the beauty of being a VA. We do almost all of it. Um, and then because of that, because of this profession being recognized, it had also opened opportunities in our country because we are being employed because we are smart, tech savvy. We are English proficient, right? Speak English well, sometimes almost to no accent. So that's why foreign companies are keen on employing us because apart from they need people to work from them, we are hardworking, we are adaptable, and we have a friendly nature. So there's a demand in this job. And then there's also a supply that the Philippines can offer. And then high end pa because we are smart people. That makes any sense. Mm, okay. So what are the roles and responsibilities of a VA? So they offer admin support. They they have offer admin support, social media management, customer service, content creation, technical support, and more. So we'll go over them in a bit, but just as a summary, when you say admin support, that includes managing emails, calendars, setting up appointments, organizing files, clerical tasks, basically. When you say social media management, it's sometimes it just goes from creating to posting, but oftentimes goes from the research, the market research, to the market strategy, to content creation, to posting, to publishing or posting or publishing, and then reading the analytics after that. You manage the campaigns and then you engage with the audience after that. So lengthy. It's a lengthy and tedious process. Customer service is when a person provides support via email or chat or phone calls to resolve customer issues or and maintain a positive experience. Um, ito yung mga parang telemarketer style or like when you send a message to a business's social media, that's customer service. The person or the people who respond to you. When you call PLDT for their low connect or for slow connection, that's customer service. So VAs also support that. It really depends upon employment when um, you and your employer talk about your roles and responsibilities. Sometimes, um, especially for smaller businesses, they might give all of this to you. And if kaya mo, then why not? But uh, we'll talk about this later more, where you have to know your worth, negotiate your salary and all that. But that's for later. Content creation, yeah, that can be separate, but that could also be under social media management. And then we have technical support. So it's a little bit like customer service, but it's more technical, like troubleshooting problems, managing software applications. If that's your expertise, then you could also be a VA. Some people want to be a VA where they can perform a lot of tasks. And then some people just want to be like strictly just a graphic designer or just a web developer. Um, I know that these people are skilled enough and knowledgeable enough to be a VA, but parang 50-50 kasi. Because for some people, they want na not to be under any more stress, I guess. So they just want to be in one specialized role. Some people are apprehensive on becoming a VA because they don't know that they're already um, skilled and qualified enough to be one. But we'll talk more on those skills later. Continue with that. We can finish this. Hindi matagal. So what skills, exactly what I was talking about, does a VA need? So first is time management. So you have to manage your time effectively. This is crucial. When you have multiple tasks to juggle, it's good time. Um, it's a good time management that ensures you to reach your deadlines without feeling overwhelmed. So, what are things that we can do to manage your time? Maybe we can know which tasks to prioritize. Next would be using a calendar. I recently just used that tactic using a calendar because I used to just um, have it all in my head. I remember, oh yeah, this day I'm doing this, and that day I'm doing that. On next month and this date. But it's all chaotic in my head, and recently I've become more forgetful. Using a calendar has been so much of a relief for me. It gave me reminders. It showed me my scheduled parang appointments. So yeah, I don't know why I just recently adapted that, but I'm glad I did. The Pomodoro technique is also something that you can do. So it involves working on a set period, usually 25 minutes and then a short break. This helps you stay focused and productive. And then batching tasks is also a good technique to do. Okay. Okay. Next would be communication skills. So, as a VA, it is very crucial for you to have clear communication with your client and the team members. Sorry. So, how do you uh, communicate well? So, you have to be clear and concise. Whether it's an email or on a phone call, get to the point quickly without sacrificing politeness. You have to also be an active listener. So pay attention to what the person is saying, ask clarifying questions, and then repeat it back to ensure that it's all understood. And then feedback is also something that you need to consider. You have to learn how to give and receive feedback constructively. This is essential not just for your growth in the professional realm, but also in your personal. Next would be technical proficiency. So if you're going to be a VA, then of course you have to be tech savvy. So for a VA, if you know how to use like MS Office or Google Docs, Google Suite rather, then you're good. Like you can be a VA. You also have to know how to manage email. That doesn't mean just looking at Gmail or Yahoo, and then that's it. So there are some tactics. Maybe it's something I can teach to you in a separate lesson. But there's a thing we do call email management. So there are things you can label and star, put in different categories, spam, uh, promotions. I forgot the other one. But yeah, should also know time management. Next would be file management. So these are the um, basic technical skills that a VA should have. Let's continue. So research skills. So being able to conduct online research is an effective effect sorry. Being able to conduct research online is a superpower for a VA. So it will enable you to fix problems or solve them, provide valuable information at a fast-paced industry, especially. So you have to know how do you be good in research and problem solving. You have to understand the search engines. You also have to do um, um, proper keyword basics. Do you call that? I forgot the term. Keyword research. So yeah, and then formulate effective queries. So if you identify the problem, um, and identify the right keywords to use. So for example, you're trying to be better with your time management. You don't Google, I'm so bad with um, going to appointments in time. How do I manage it? It's kind of long. And then Google is going to find specific keywords like those in within like the articles or the blogs or whatnot. So just do proper keyword um, basics. So maybe you can type time management tips instead, or how to manage time effectively. So that's a part of the research skills. Next is what does a VA need? So for the key tools, um, okay, when you say essential VA tools, that's what I mentioned earlier. Like you have to know how to use MS Office or Google Workspace, Google Suite. So that's more on the documentation, files, spreadsheets, presentations. That's a basic. You should know that. Um, Also, project management tools or apps. I specifically use Asana. And then for communication, you can use Skype or Zoom or for me, we use Facebook Messenger, we use Slack. It really depends on your employer as well. But you have to be familiar with those. And then for email management, there's Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo. I'm not sure if people still use Yahoo. For communication, email platforms, like what I said, instant messaging, Zoom, Slack, Skype, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp. And then if you are doing customer service, yung VoIP, yun usually yung use ng call center companies. And then for the time management and scheduling tools, calendars, like I mentioned earlier. And then for project and time management, we have Asana, Trello, Monday.com. I personally use Asana. I've used Trello, pero I feel like Asana is a bit better at that. And then on the personal side, yung not online, I use the calendar, like I mentioned earlier. For document and file management tools, we have cloud storage like Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, iCloud. For document creation and editing, Google Workspace, MS. For social media management tools, um, so there's like research, market research, and then you have to do content creation. And then the best thing now is we have AI that helps us a lot when it comes to content creation. And then when you I guess do the content creation, it goes hand in hand with the graphic design and multimedia tools. Like the most common now is Canva, but we also have Adobe, Adobe Pro, Photoshop. I think there's a Warplan AI now. It's a different thing. There are also like video tools, but I don't use some or most of the videos. Um, and then after that, you post and schedule. I personally use Agora Pulse, but some people use Hootsuite, Buffer, Later. That's for planning and posting social media. Then after that, you read the analytics. So it can be the Facebook Insights, Google Analytics. Sometimes it depends on those scheduling platforms as well, because they might already have a built-in para report for the analytics. For the financial management, um, because some VAs first specialize more on accounting or the finances part. So they use QuickBooks, FreshBooks, or it depends, maybe just Excel for some VAs. And then expense tracking like me and Zoho Books. And then there goes yung how you receive your payment, right? So you can use PayPal, Wise. Um, what else do they use? I think some people do like direct bank transfers. Um, I forgot what else. People use. I use PayPal and Wise. For the customer relationship management CRM tools, so HubSpot, Zoho, Salesforce. Um, MailChimp, I'm not sure. MailChimp is for email campaigns. Um, and then I mentioned earlier the graphic and multimedia tools. Canva, Adobe, Spark, Photoshop, Premiere Pro. For collaboration and project management, I mentioned Asana, Trello, Basecamp, Jira, Microsoft Teams, Google Workspace. Sometimes just group chats sa Facebook or WhatsApp. It depends on your company and your team. Then we have data management, data entry and management tools. So more sa spreadsheets yan, like Excel, Google Sheets. And then website management and basic SEO tools. WordPress, Wix, Squarespace, Google Search Console for basic SEO practices. Um, and more. And then VPN is very important now. Um, VPN is for secure and private internet access and safeguarding data, by the way. Um, so if you're a social media um, manager and you post without VPN, it's going to completely destroy um the what do you call this? Um Logistics? No, not logistics. I forgot the term. But when you post it and then you don't use VPN, there's a big possibility that the audience or the market for that post will not be able to see it. So that's a huge loss for you and your clients. So this VPN is very important now as a VA. Continuing. So how do I build a personal brands or basically how do you become a VA? So first is you create an effective online presence. So you build a professional profile and portfolio that can be in LinkedIn or it can be an online portfolio. You can make up the portfolio like just a website that they go to. You can use and design one for free. WordPress or Wix can do that. Wait lang. Okay, sorry about that. And then yeah, so you should um one have a professional photo and then highlight the skills and experiences that you have detailed descriptions of your work or work history. And then for SEO, it should have the keywords related to virtual assistants. This is best para your portfolio can be easily seen and it would attract the right clients. Um, and then if you've designed any projects, um, designed and had successful projects, you can highlight them there as well. Um, Define your niche. Okay, so for example, me, I didn't know my niche. I was at first I was just like, okay, I just want to do admin tasks. That's all I want to do. I don't want to teach anymore. And then after a while of doing that, became repetitive again for me. So I had to really think about what I want to do, and I enjoy posting a lot. I'm still working on the analytics side of it, but like content creation and then market research, strategies. It's really something I like to do. You did not just see that. So yeah, to define my niche was just more on social media, content creation, and then social media management. I just spilled coffee all over me. Um, and then you have to create valuable content for that. So when you say content, maybe if you're not employed, you market yourself. I do this and I do that. Have your own. Um, it's basically still your profile, right? Especially in LinkedIn, it would like updates there would be very helpful. And then if you've already had work as a VA, use testimonials and reviews. And of course, networking. You can do it on professional platforms, you can do it to social media, or you can do it like this virtual or in person events. Okay. What else does a VA do? So, for the sorry, for the practical aspect of virtual assistant, you have to set up your own workspace. Um, you have to choose the right location, ergonomics matter, organize your space, and have good lighting. Now, for me, um, I don't do customer service. I don't have to talk to people, and that's something I like about it because I'm an introvert. So I can work anywhere, and that's my choice. But if you're the type of person who is really OC about your workspace, right? Because the great part of freelancing is you can work anywhere. Now, if you're very OC, you have to choose the right location. If you're talking to people, choose quiet areas, well-lit areas especially. And then I'm sorry, I have back problems. So ergonomics does really matter. So, um, good quality in a chair and then desk should support your back. I think you already understand that. And then have an organized space. Um, When you say work life balance, you have to set regular work hours. So, most likely your hours are going to be graveyard because potential employers are in graveyard or EST, Pacific time. If you're lucky, Australian, which is like 2 hours long and some change, I think, time difference. Um, yeah, so that's if you're lucky. And if you're lucky, you're flexible hours. But you have to set your workout so that my this ma-divide talaga yung personal and then professional life. And then make sure that you take scheduled breaks, create boundaries, and then you plan your leisure activities. I personally don't. Or I have not in the past. And it created burnout on my end. So I learned that you really have to plan when to work and when to play. Sure. So for the health and wellness, make sure to stay active, be mindful, and then practice relaxation, like practices like meditation, maybe breathing exercises. I'm so lucky in Siargao that I have friends that are so health conscious that teach me these stuff. I think I'm the only one that's more resistant because that's really not my thing, but I'm slowly dipping my toes in that area in my life, I guess. And make sure you eat well, and you have social interactions. So the practical aspects of VA involve more than just managing tasks and deadlines. So it's not just work, it's taking care of your physical and mental health because those are critical components in your career as a virtual assistant. Okay. So how can I be better? VA. So you have to be a lifelong learner. Earlier, we talked about the basic roles and responsibilities, the tools that you should know. But to be a lifelong learner, you elevate yourself by introducing more specialized skills to significantly enhance your service offerings. And then if you have a diverse skill set, you can cater more to the complex demands of the client. And then so you in that way you get to market yourself better. You get to command higher rates. So what are these advanced skills? So we have digital marketing. So that includes SEO, social media management. That's ever changing, email marketing, content creation, analytics, so many things. And then bookkeeping. This is something that I don't do because if I'm really going to be um like nitpicky on myself, like very critical, I feel like I could do it, but I would have to exert a lot of effort because numbers isn't my thing. For some people, it comes very naturally sa kanila to deal with numbers. But yeah, when you say bookkeeping, so that's financial record keeping, reconciliation, reporting, budget management, graphic design, branding, marketing materials, web development and management. So, like managing WordPress or whatever. I don't know the term server, web developer, web design thing that I use, CMS platforms, I think. And then if that could also mean coding, JavaScript, yung HTML, CSS. I don't know any of that because that's not my expertise. That's my niche. That's not my niche. And then e-commerce could also be a part of that. It's just again not something I do. Customer service and support. So some people might hire a VA and just want that VA to do strictly customer service lang. So that means you handle inquiries, you resolve them, um, or resolve the complaints, and then you do feedback and collection. And then when you say project management, you manage projects, right? So that requires planning and coordination. That includes you have to be an expert or proficient in the tools that you and your team are using. So, along with that, the team collaboration. Then, for additional specialized skills, um, some people just hire VA strictly for data analysis and reporting, um, or for some language and translation services, some event planning and coordination, and then we also have legal and HR. It's when an employer is lucky, like really lucky, they get to hire one who can do all of those. Um, but we'll talk again about this again later about knowing your worth. And if you are going to do all of that, you have to negotiate your salary because um, else ikaw yung lugi. If that makes any sense. Um, okay, this is my favorite part. And although I really wanna talk about it one by one, it's too lengthy. So this focuses more on understanding the work ethics and addressing common toxic traits in the Filipino work culture. So when you say work ethics, it encompasses the principles and values that govern our behavior in the workspace. Okay, let's. If you have good work ethics, then that means you have um, commitment, professionalism, um, respect, integrity, accountability. If you have bad work ethics, then that means the opposite of that. Now we have to understand the global versus the local perspective of this, right? So when globally speaking, um, their workspaces are very different because they emphasize more in independency, in efficiency, innovation, and yun nga sabi ko, independency, individual achievement. So they think very um more parang individualistic, if that makes any sense. I can't explain it any further. Um, but for Filipinos, we value harmony, respect for authority, and group success. That is the difference in the culture. So we have to balance these perspectives to lead a more inclusive and productive work environment. Um, but I'll just give a few examples. Um, Working for Western companies, they don't like to be called ma'am and sir. Something. But in our culture, we have to call people ma'am and sir. And then they don't like yes man. Um, if you actually do think that something is concerning, right? If you're doing marketing campaign, right, or whatnot, and if something is concerning, you are encouraged to speak up and have your own opinion on stuff in the Filipino culture. Sometimes um, we are too scared to do that because it's been, we'll talk more about cultures or toxic traits later, but um, there are a lot of factors when it comes to our fear, our inaction. Maybe I'll just go over a few things. Okay. I would like here toxic traits of the Filipino workplace. Um, so yung pakikisama, that's something I wanna dive into. But someone wants to join. I'll be live. This is Jumbo. Okay, so pakikisama means getting along. So it's an excessive focus on harmony and getting along, sometimes at the expense of expressing dissenting opinions or challenging the status quo. So, if the positive side to it is that we are fostering harmonious relationships within the workplace, something I love about the Filipino culture. However, yung bad side to that, yes, Jan, is it could lead to conformity. It will stifle innovation, and then it discourages open communication. So, what do? We foster an inclusive environment where diverse opinions are encouraged and valued. Um, Gossip and office politics, that's also a thing. Maybe I won't go into these a lot. Patronage and nepotism is also something. I would like to go over them one by one, but I feel like that's too tedious. Now, for this part, fraudulent schemes and tricks. When you become a VA, sometimes if you're not careful, this does happen. And it's bad. So, plagiarism, I think you already know what that is. And then false credentials over promising and under delivering. We lie on our resume, so don't lie on your resumes, your CVs, your portfolios. You have to be, and that's why you have to continue learning more skills so that you can put more stuff in your resume without lying. So if you lie, you get the job, and then on the job, your boss asks you to do, can you do this? Then you don't know what you're doing. Of course, you can learn on the job and then ask them for guidance. But if you already put it in your resume, tapos you don't know, that's a lying, right? Misrepresenting, ghosting, recycling work, um, outsourcing without permission. Okay, so some people who have been in the industry for a long time like to get clients, we need more money. I'll get this and this. That. Tapos, they get bombarded with the workload. Of course, they can't do it by themselves, right? They need, because they have, for example, 5 clients. That's a job for 5 people. So what do? They outsource. They say like, you do this, and I'll just give you this much amount for the project. And for people who are desperately looking for jobs, they do that. They're like, okay, I'll work for you. You're offering them employment now, but you're not really showing good values. So don't outsource work. Um, Data theft, uh, bad expenses. Okay. Again, I'd like to go all over that one by one, but I feel like we don't have time. So, what are the career paths of a VA? So, if you just want to focus more on admin, then you can be an administrative VA. You can be a technical VA if you want to do more website management, basic coding, technical do handling technical inquiries. You can be a creative VA if you want to do content creation, market research, graphic design, social media management. Specialized if you offer something specific like real estate or legal assistance or digital marketing. Um or like finances like being a bookkeeper. Okay. So freelancing. Talk about freelancing and employment. Freelancing is um, you're flexible to choose your clients and projects. You have control over the workload and schedules, and there's a potential for higher income based on the work. Now, the bad part of it is there's no job security in freelancing. You're responsible for your own taxes and benefits, and then you need to find client after client after client, after project after project after project. But if you're employed, this means you have a stable income, you have an employer, provided benefits, and then you have structured work hours. So, but the part is that you have flexibility, you have a fixed income, and then there you could lose your work life balance. So if we understand the freelancing versus employment, it helps us make informed decisions about the career path we wanna go or we wanna take. So once we align our professional choices with personal and financial goals. Then yes, Gunner, there's something you want to say. Okay, I'm almost done. Promise. Okay, for the job market insights. Okay, this industry, the VA market, is ever evolving. It constantly changes, and this is influenced by global trends and technological advancements. So, in our country, the Philippines, the demand for VA continues to skyrocket. This is because we are smart. We speak English well. We have competitive rates. We are adaptable, adaptive to different time zones. And internationally, the rise of remote work culture has opened up more opportunities for VAs across various industries. So now, how do you find a job as a VA? So earlier, building your brand as a VA, create a strong online presence. You network. If you have any referrals, if you've done any jobs before, then that can be something. I think in the resume, it's called references, the part references. And then you maintain good client relationship management. If you've had one before or you have one now, um, acquiring, you can go to sites like online jobs at PH, Job Street, Upwork. For me, even I went to Craigslist and find work. I just really have to practice like discernment on which ones are sketchy, which ones are not. Okay. And then the communication that we talked about earlier. Negotiating rates and contracts. So again, you have to know your worth. Um, Research industry rates for your services. So if you understand your skill level and the value you bring to the table, you can increase your. Glenn, don't do that. Don't do that. Glenn, you can increase your rate. You also have to be prepared. So, Glenn, can you stop? Commercial. You have to be prepared. Before negotiations, prepare your points and anticipate possible counter arguments. Be able to justify your rates and then examples of your work and their successes. Gun. So bratty. You also have to be flexible. Okay, it's important to know your worth, but also be open to negotiation. And then you must have clear terms. Okay, what is the strongest skill as a VA? Is you're a goal setter. So, set goals, smart goals. When you say smart, it means S, specific, M, measurable, A, achievable, R, relevant, and then T, time bound goals. You have to break it down. You have to have an action plan. You have to be accountable for your goals. And if you can't, have a buddy so you can have an accountability partner. And then you reflect and you adjust as you go along the way. And then this is something that resonates with me in my core is you have to be a lifelong learner. Stay curious, be open, set learning goals, leverage resources. So take advantage of the resources online, YouTube, free online courses, webinars, podcasts, books. Take advantage of those. Now, in this age today, you can learn anything you put your mind to. So once you learn, you apply what you learned, and then you network and share. Okay. So this is not a part of it, but I used to offer the certificate for people who finished the intro to a VA with me. And then I offer um, trainings for these. If you want, you can do that. You can just pause it there. Um, and then you can also connect with me. Um, I would like to ask if maybe you guys have questions for me. Wait lang ha. So far, okay. So far, I didn't see anything, but that's okay. If you have any questions, you can always um just send me a message. But thank you so much for your time, effort to be here. I apologize again for the late um live, my technical and um I didn't know you were watching, Joe. What is something you have seen? Okay, what is something you have seen that employers look at on your profiles? Of course, they look at the experiences, your work experience. And then I learned maybe within year 3 in my first decade, or in the 10 years of me working online, that you have the SEO part, you have the specific keywords in your CV that your employer potentially um, wants to see. And also, you do again do not misrepresent yourself. So make sure that what you put on your CV, your resume, is something that you can do. So apart from the work experience that I put there, I have a section that shows my skill set. So my skills and then my expertise on it. So for example, I put graphics design as a skill. And then I rate it from 1 to 10. I rate myself. 1 being not good or awful, and then 10 being great at it. So, yeah, I'm not gonna tell you my grades. Pero I have like the list of the skills I have there. Do you have any questions? Any other questions for me, Joe? Huh? But yeah, I think that's it. I have to go because I have to feed my dogs. But thank you so much for joining this stream, especially to Joe. Thank you. Have a have a good night, everyone. Thank you. Bye.